All right, let's do some volume tests. Is this mic too far away from my mouth, or should I move closer? Hello, everyone. I'm going to move the mic closer because this is a wonderful position for the mic to be. I think I can still reach the keyboard. You get this wonderful clickety-clack. Wait for the little clickety-clack. Listen. I don't know if you heard the clickety-clack because I accidentally pressed a button that muted my mic. Well, never mind. Well, since I was late to my own show, I should probably just start. Where's the... Okay, here we go. Why is... Testing. Tell me if I'm back or not. No, it keeps on doing weird things. Can you hear me now? Is the true question. Let me know if you can hear me in a chat, in a comment below. Good. At least one person can hear me. They can help me build a team. Maybe Ben's out there too. Maybe he can help me as well. I'm gonna post something on Facebook really quick. Maybe we can get some other people in here. Everyone else post something as well. Let's all hang out and talk about cards. Boom. Typing and posting. How's everyone's Monday going? I can hear me fine too. Cards are good. Cards are great. I know there's a button that I'm trying to press here. What is the button? Discord. Discord is what I'm trying to pull up. People like Discord, right? People use Discord. Somebody does. Oh, now I'm getting Discord notifications. Close. That all 8 cards should be over 7 cost, right? That's a good question. That would be hilarious. All right. This music's awesome, but I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Just gonna bump it down there. It won't distract me, and then I'll bump it down for you guys. Well, tell me if that's too quiet or too loud in the background while I speak. And then I'm going to try to press my camera settings and tell it to flip. And I don't think it's going to. Nah, it doesn't matter that much. So I'm very much a perfectionist. I'll show you what I mean. Let's hit the transition video. And then go to my face, because I should really have this hotkeyed. I should really have it hotkeyed, but I don't. I'm now on this big screen, or I'm really small. Now I'm really big. Look at me. Check this out. I need a haircut. I need to get a haircut. I never look at myself in the mirror until I stream, which is kind of a bad thing. Look at this. This is bad. So my camera, I want it to be the other way, and I want to flip it, but for some reason, I don't know why, the software doesn't want me to flip anymore. So I'll pull up the software stuff, and I'll go to the little settings where you flip it, and I'll press the little button. I'll do everything that you need to do in order to flip it, and it just doesn't. I'm going to turn this down for you and turn it down for me, though that is a sweet song. So anyway, that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about camera settings. We're here to talk about one of my favorite Dice Masters formats ever, and that is the wonderful format of 3 wishes. I guess you could really call it whatever you want, but it uses limited wish. And let me pull up limited wish for you so you can see what we're actually going to be working with. Let's go here. Let's create this. Let's do this. Let's go to this. Let's go. Where is it? Oh, this song is so sweet. I don't know. I just love this song. All right, what am I doing? Getting distracted by the music. Totally getting distracted by the music. I'm trying to get you the ability to see. It's not this one, is it? Oh, it's Google Chrome. Bing. Doop. There it is. This is what I want to share. And of course, the stream is dropping, which is really a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. I'll wait for it to come back. Waits for it to catch back up. So anyway, let's move on to Limited Wish. Let's take a look at Limited Wish, because this card is one of my old school favorites, which is why I love this format so much. This format is amazing because it uses this card. A 6-cost action that says choose any unpurchased dies, yours or from your basic action cards, and roll it. If you roll a non-energy face, then place that die in your used pile. So in other words, it gives you a die for free as long as you can pay 6 to get this and then roll it. Unfortunately, you have to pay 6 to roll it and use it and all that. Except in this format you don't, because you just get a limited wish die. Now this format's played in a lot of different ways, and one of the things I'm actually doing, or was doing before I started cutting together all of those videos I've been releasing recently, is putting together a format breakdown for 3 Wishes format. And this format can be played in multiple different ways. The way that I played this format was that Limited Wish was one of the 8 cards on your team, but it only came with 1 die, and you already purchased it before the game starts, so it starts in your transition. And that's kind of how we're playing it with this format that the Weekly Dice Arena is going to be using, except that it doesn't take up a card slot. So you have 8 full card slots from which to work and build a team. Yes, you can do basic action cards. You can put basic actions. This does not take a spot. It's totally open to... the entire team is open, and you just start with a Limited Wish in this form and fashion. So you can do a lot of crazy things with that. This is also a Modern Age version, whereas I played it as a Golden Age version, which opens up a ton more, obviously, possibilities and a ton more really good high 7+ drops. Whereas in Modern Age, let's go ahead and take a look at what you have access to. If we click Modern Era, take away the word Limited Wish, and we'll take away the Battle for Ultramar stuff. You can see when you set it to 7 to 10, and 10 is the highest, we only have 66 cards to choose from. Okay, 66 cards, and if we divide that by 3, then you're looking at a lot less. Whoa, what did I do? That's cool. You're looking at a lot less in the way of variety when it comes to what you can actually do team building wise. And I think we can all agree that the 66 cards that are shown here, of those 66, maybe less than half are really, really powerful, really, really good. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't build with them. It just means that we really want to consider what kind of a team we want. A like powerful team. We can show that comment. Who doesn't want to show that? Yes, I do want to bring Stompa. That's kind of a consideration I wanted to ask you guys if that was cool. What did you think? If we should bring Stompa, because I have it. If we want to build a high-powered team, or if we want to build a fun, thematic, casual team. That being said, I already started putting together a team, but I'll walk you through the process of where I got, and then we can tweak it and change it, because I don't really care. I like building teams. Let's just build team. All right, so let's take a look at all of the possibilities really quickly. All of these Supreme Intelligences are fine. They have Fabricate abilities, and none of them are super duper powerful. They all come with this cool Pay 2 global that moves a 2 or less cost. So if we wanted to do something with a lower drop character, then we can move it around, but it's not really that impactful. All three of the Thanos from the Avengers Infinity, or really it's the Kree Invasion team pack, are super cool. I like all of them. The two that discount themselves don't make as much sense in this format, because the goal of the format is to use your limited wish die, and I guess I should explain this, it's kind of important. Use your limited wish die to get one of the at minimum 3 7+ cards on your team. In the team building portion of this, you are limited to or you are required to put 3 7+ cost characters on your team. And you don't have to put more than that. You could, certainly. But you are required to put 3 of them on your team. And some variants run the rule or restriction that you have to have one of them active in order to win the game, or deal any damage, or something like that. And if that is the case, then you've got to really make a decision based on like what cards do you want to run and what are powerful enough to warrant getting out and like warrant doing stuff with. Luckily, you don't actually have to pay 7, which brings me back to this point. Thanos that discounts himself isn't that important, because these cards only come with 1 die, and you're not allowed to actually outright purchase them. So the best Thanos would therefore be the one that deals double overcrush. So that is a consideration. So yes, prove love for Lady Death is a consideration. So let's open up and hit edit team. Spoiler alert, clear team, go quick. Okay, good. Spoiled, everything was spoiled. Anyway, so Thanos prove love for Lady Death is a consideration card. Other things to consider. This one is okay. It's not very good. Attune plus discounting your actions. You only have 2 actions unless you put more actions onto your team. Strange Tales. This one's interesting. You get to re-roll that action die and place it in your prep. So basically use Boomerang. The most interesting one is Never Have You Known Its Like. You just get to double your action die usage. And the Golden Age team version of the Golden Age team that I ran for this variant used a very similar card, and I'll kind of pop out of Golden Age because I loved the Golden Age team, or into Golden Age. I love this team. It was super cool. It used Beholder. This Beholder, right? So it used each of the basic actions, abilities, and then you combine that with the Red Dragon. And this is all easy stuff to get out when you don't have to pay for it. And it's specifically this Red Dragon because of the ability that says while active once per turn, when you use an action die's effect, you can use a second copy of its effect. So once per turn, when you use the Beholder's ability, you can pick one of the basic actions that you used and use a second copy of it, which means if you're running Team Up... Oh, Team Up's not on here because it's not a 7-drop. But if you're running Team Up that says give all your stuff plus whatever, now it gives it double that, which is really sick. And so I just did that with a couple of affiliations and gave everything +8, and then Breath Weaponed. And it was hilarious. Super cool team. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, those are fun. So this one I actually have as a consideration because it does something similar, and you can just throw Team Up on and yeah, go to town. If you had Team Up. Dormammu is terrible, so we're just moving on. Hulk is terrible. Surtur, the common, the uncommon, and the rare. I actually put the rare as something to consider because that's a really cool card. The common and uncommon. Common's got Breath Weapon 2. The uncommon has... Where's the uncommon? The +2/+2 for each opposing character die. So you give him buff. It doesn't count as action for the one that we ran locally here, but I think Ross was counting it. Really doesn't count as an action. This is very interesting. I actually did use Limited Wish multiple times as well, using that combo in Golden Age. It's strange that it wouldn't count as an action because it's an action die, but if that's the stipulation that your group put on it, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. Other things, Hela, like an immortal team is a possibility, especially because you have access to the big dude. Where's his name? I saw it just a second ago. Heimdall. Where's Heimdall? There he is. You have access to Heimdall, who is an immortal. So it gives you the global as well. So that's a consideration. Other things that you could do that jump out to me, you could do like a rare Mr. Fix-It thing. That doesn't seem very good. You could do a dragon thing, but that doesn't seem very good because if you throw Ring of Winter on here, you're not actually using it for the discount because you can't actually buy these things. Unless you just kind of made a bunch of dragon team stuff and then, just kind of copped out. That feels really cheap to me though. It doesn't feel like the spirit of the format is being honored if you just put together a dragon team and then call one of your 7-cost dragons the thing that you get out. Woo! With Limited Wish. So it doesn't seem very exciting in that way. Other things that jump out, maybe like the super rare Ragnarok, because you get to KO sidekicks, and sidekicks seem fine in a format where you're wishing out most things and not purchasing a lot, unless you're kind of just going for 2 drops and not really playing for the win con. I may or may not have made an immortal team. That's cool. It is certainly nothing to sneeze at. Oh, no, you would totally win with a dragon team. That's what I'm saying. Like it'd be great, but it's not exactly the spirit of, in my opinion, it's not super different than what you would normally see if we were just sitting down to play like unlimited or casual or competitive or whatever. You could definitely see a dragon team in all of those formats. So why bring it to something that's really trying to shift the format in a different way? So if that's our mindset, then that seems terrible. No, don't choose that one. If that's our mindset, then no, that's also terrible. What jumps out? None of these Hulks seem very interesting. I mean, obviously, like if I'm thinking meta things or things that are powerful, then this Thor is very good. Everyone knows the uncommon Thor, right? So that's a consideration piece because it's just really, really powerful. So there's 4 already. This one, but I can't put 2 Thanoses on, but this one's really interesting. So while he's active, each time you field a villain character die, it just deals damage and then goes to used, which is very cool. Nocturne Shadowy Lineage. Let's take a look. Yeah, because I think you're already taking the next step to what I want to cover in this video and why I wanted to bring this to you because I found it very interesting. Nocturne. Oh, I got to change it out of this setting here. Nocturne Shadowy Lineage. This says, "Oh, hey, my wife. This is my wife, everyone. Hey, everyone." Yeah, you're totally on stream. My wife didn't realize she walked in. Everyone roast her. No, don't do that. She's a beautiful, wonderful woman. Anyway, it says, the first time your opponent uses an action die, you may redirect the effect to another legal target. So I would imagine that you'd have to pick something that they would be able to purchase, right? But let's take a look more closely at the Limited Wish wording. Really? Okay. Oh. Yeah. Choose an unpurchased die, yours or from your basic action cards, and roll it. So I would imagine that you would just pick a different target for them to roll. So, look, everyone's saying hi, your wife. You guys are so kind. Look at you. Greatest community ever. Seriously, though, that's 100% true. Greatest community ever. She's going to hate herself for doing that, too. But I warned her. I said, hey, I'm going to start the stream. And she said, okay. Anyway, if we want to get super memey, we could pick any of the Beta Ray Bills. Orion is a popular choice because of the rare just deal 4 kind of thing going on. Old school Dormammu. None of these jump out at me. So give me some ideas. Throw out some ideas, chat. Not to give too many spoilers, I'm running Hulkbuster. Yeah, that one... Wait, is that one banned, right? Isn't that one banned? Didn't he say that was banned? I thought he said that was banned. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this card's banned. Sorry, Ben. Sorry to burst your bubble, but that was one of the 2 cards he banned. He banned this card and Boom Boom because I recommended banning Boom Boom. But yes, okay, Stompa. Yeah, you're right. We need to throw that in there. So if we're gonna go into Battle for Ultramar and Orcs and all that, then we should take a look. None of the other ones are very interesting, but we might as well throw on Stompa Big Mex because that's a cool card. Same with Thanos. Did he say that Thanos was banned? I don't think he did. It does say Scarlet Witch and Boom Boom. Where did we see the Hulkbuster banned as well? Because that would be the only reason that I meant. Maybe it's mentioned in the comments or something. Like someone mentioned that one being banned. Someone look that up. But nobody has Stompa. Yeah, I know. Hence why I wanted to ask if you guys thought that was cool or not. Because I've been running the Warhammer stuff already, just to let everyone kind of see it. I say yes. I think that's awesome. The second half of this doesn't matter that much, just because of that, but because you're not purchasing these things. So if it were me, I would go boop, boop, and these would be my 3. This card's really good, especially in this format. Wait a minute. Are we crossing streams here and like... Okay, is DM North also doing like the big guy? Maybe that's it. I think... Okay, look. D Dice Masters North. Yeah, I think, guys, we're crossing streams. I think you totally can run Hulkbuster Iron Man. Let me bring this over here. Pop. I'm pretty sure it's DM North that is. I think you're right. Let's take a look. Okay, where is it? No, it's not that. This one. No, it's not that. Go back. On their newest post, yeah, it's DM North that has banned that one. So yeah, you totally put on Hulkbuster Iron Man. I mean, it's the only time you could possibly use him, right? So you might as well. Now, is it worth it though? You're getting a guaranteed field and KO, and then you're not cycling it. You get it once, and you only have 1 die for it. Ben, do you think this is worth it? I don't know, man. I mean, it's the same thing with running Stompa, right? Except this puts it back to the card. Throw it on there just to remember it. Is that worth it? I mean, this card's really good. Is that card just better than KOing something big? Gaining a life is nice, certainly. It does get around Uncommon Thor, and so does this. Because you also have to add a card that I've been wanting to mess around with. Check it out, which is the 2-cost. So I need to change this setting too, otherwise it won't come up. The 2-cost Modern Era Confront the Mighty, which says target character die you control has attack equal to the target defense, or to the defense of target opposing character die until the end of the turn. These 2 character dice deal damage equal to their attacks to each other. So pop that on there. If you have this, which is making 2 things deal 2 attacks to each other, right? With Surtur, then Surtur is just an auto wipe the board, which is cool. And I like things that auto wipe the board. Yeah, Stompa is straight up better in this format than Hulkbuster. Yes, true. Now the question is, Ben, do you want to put Fabricate on this to cycle? So like Golem. And then you can like Fabricate the Amber Golem, because it heals you. Do you want to do that? Yeah, the uncommon are rare. Those are sick first 4 though. Yeah, I saw the Colossus as well, on the X-Men First Class, which is not bad. Plus, it's got cool art. This one is interesting. No. Sorry. This one is interesting, right? Control level 3 character die. So this one's nice because it does sort of play around that one you were talking about. Commish or Nick to take care of all those fielding costs. Yeah, fielding costs aren't terrible in this format, though, because you're not really spending your energy to purchase, so you're not really doing a ton of purchasing. Let me show you what else I came up with. And we can kind of go from there. Well, I guess I have to save this. All right, so these are the cards that jumped out to me. All right, so GDM for rerolls, which is both neither. I mean, like, assuming that your opponent fields some sidekicks, then they're going to, you'll want to field those big things as well. This sort of forces them to field only the big 3 cards that they want, the big 3 dice, and then not field sidekicks, and or play into GDM and have to play around GDM. Shriek, obviously. Poison Ivy Red, which works for most big drops, unless they're running like this Surtur. I liked the Surtur and I liked the Thor, and I didn't pick a third one because I didn't want to just jump out for that. Awaken Onslaught. Yeah, an Onslaught team. Load that back up and go back to editing. Onslaught. Awaken. Unblockable this turn. 6/8. You get him for free if you roll that. It's kind of interesting. 4, 4, 6. Can you do better though? I mean, like, because you could just as easily slap on like a 3-cost raise shields. Come on. To give your 2 of your guys Overcrush, or just, you know, clear the board, which makes a ton of sense. A lot of you guys were saying the Commissioner. For this reason, which would discount everything here except Surtur. That seems really good. Seems good. Question is now, what do you do? What are you doing for ramp and bag control? Like Resurrection for bag control takes up your 2nd basic action slot. You guys have a ton of ideas. Malekith super rare because you want to buy another action or something. It makes a ton of sense. I love you guys throwing out all these ideas. Some super cool things. Yeah, no, you're totally right. You don't need the ramp because you're buying all this big stuff. Now, a couple of things that I did with the team that I ran in Golden Age is I insured a little bit more what I was getting. So there's a couple, like rolling Limited Wish. So there's a couple ways to do that. Like you can bring a Sararak, which I can't remember if I did or not. I think I did. And I didn't mind giving it to my opponent too much because I put together a really strong team. And I knew that it would just kill people. The other option is bringing Crystal for this one, to allow you to reroll the thing one more time. And this is one-sided. And it's a 2. Uncommon Rip Hunter is the 3rd option. Yeah. This is a 4-drop, though, which is the issue. But it's a 100% guarantee, which is pretty cool. So that's an option as well. Which of these options do you guys like the most? Do you like giving yourself a 2-drop that also can reroll? Or do you like a 4-drop that guarantees it? It's a good questions. Good questions. No, I'm Mr. Miracle. No. For those of you who are wondering what Mr. Miracle, he wants to give everything Boomerang. And giving everything Boomerang is bad because Boomerang is bad. It's just generally bad. Ben says Crystal. Crystal's pretty cool. And it's a 2-drop. 2-drops are better. I believe so. Yep. Let me look it back up. Doctor Strange. When an action die is used, you may use a copy of its effect. You may choose new targets for the copy, which is pretty cool. So, now the question is, because it's on your opponent's turn, does it fully resolve? And the answer will be found when we travel back into Golden Age and look at the Limited Wish. Place the die in your used. Yes, it probably does. I would imagine it would. Giving Limited Wish Boomerang is bad. Yes, because Boomerang is bad. And the reason Boomerang is bad is it's not guaranteed. And it's so much better. Because I played that, you know, people actually did that in the thing that I ran. It's so much better to guarantee it than to have the 50-50 and miss multiple times, right? And so it's easy enough to just go for Scarlet Witch Hex Bolts and just pay the one for one more cost and a 5/3 on top. Yeah, I just found that this card is just a lot better than trusting in the Boomerang and missing. Because what are you saving? 1 to purchase the character. Fielding costs are the same. Yes, fielding costs are the same. Stats are better on this one. And you get a 50-50 on this versus a pay 1. You already said we're not going to need the energy. So you always have the energy to pay to prep it. So it's pretty good. As the Mr. Miracle spot and for the cyborg of cycling of when fielded, right? So the Malekith super. I don't know what you're asking. Baron Zemo, is that the one that does the same thing? Ooh, yeah, old school though. That's old school. This is the Thunderbolt one. That one doesn't make any sense for this though. And if I go to modern, the only option is that. As the Mr. Miracle spot and for the cycling of when fielded, right? Yes. Okay, so what you're saying is you're trying to say it does double duty. So Malekith is the word that I want to type and then pop that there so we can look at it. So Malekith does a couple of things. One, it buys you or it cycles your like Hulkbuster or Stompa. It also discounts like if you bought some big action or something. Oh, you know, totally. The old school Baron Zemo was sick. It was sick. The one I was pulling up on the screen there for a minute, but unfortunately, Golden Age. So, in your next roll, Malekith sorts out keeping your Limited Wish in your next roll. Also lets you KO Stompa. It sorts out keeping your... Oh, you mean if you buy the character, right? Yeah. I see what you're saying. You're saying it does double duty in that sense. And it KOs. And the question is... Oh, I'm down again. Live stream offline. Live stream online. Who knows? Online, offline, just flip a coin. It could be either. The stream could be offline. The stream could be online. The stream could be anywhere. The stream's online. The stream's offline. Anyway, it does free you up a slot if it does like double or triple duty. Now, okay, so let's talk about what actually matters, and that is, we can cut that. What's the goal of the team? You know, like what's the point? Oh, Robert's making sad faces, saying it's not happening. Well, hopefully it is happening. I'll keep checking just to make sure it doesn't like keel over and die or something. Hopefully it doesn't do that. That would be really sad. So what's the point of the team? The point of the team, I think, thus far, is to go for this Surtur Confront the Mighty thing. Which means we're going to be rolling both Limited Wish and Confront the Mighty. So therefore... I mean, like, okay, so if Surtur's on his bottom level, it's like worst case scenario, he does 6 damage. Or now technically no, he flips with whatever you flip him with. So he could do like as little as 1 damage. So if he does a little, yeah, you need these other things. So obviously this one's really good. Obviously this one's really good. Question is between this one and that one. Well, let's just play the fun, like the newest one. I like Poison Ivy Red. I like this one because most of the things that we'd be blocking are non-villain character dice, which she will do the deadly thing for and then prevent all damage. So she can just keep blocking. So I think that's a cool little tech card. That's good defense. How much do we want to put Shriek on this team is the question. And then, you know, like, which one of these doesn't matter? Scarlet Witch doesn't matter if you have Malekith, is what we're saying. If you buy Malekith, which is cool. And that seems fun, like buying Malekith, why not, right? We have 3 villains on this team. Slide them 1, 2, 3, like right here. Wonder if that means anything. If that matters at all. Good suggestion on this. I forgot that this even existed. That's really cool. Then toss on Team Up. This would be out 2, 3, 4. So everything's getting +3. All the sidekicks is the really good thing. Do we want to bag thin or anything like that? Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you on ditching Shriek. No, this one. This one would be funny. When fielded, move all villain character dice to run in the accuser's character card until the end of the turn. That's the combo right there. We get all of our villains out and then we take them all away. That's funny. No. What should we put on here? This feels cool-ish. Maybe it's just because my heart of hearts wanted this to be Golden Age and I wanted to run like the old school Red Dragon. And I wanted to run that Beholder. I think all of these running Doppelganger. Multiple Stompas is good. This one's good too. Yeah, maybe it's like you go Mimic and it can be a little ramp. For the stat copies, but and like that's better because you get the ability alongside it. I bet you there's gonna be multiple people that have this card on their team. Throw that on there just to remember it. Batiri as a low drop. You got Fist synergy with Commissioner and Stompa, but you're not buying Stompa, you can't. Outside of that, you've got like Mask, Fist, Bolts. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like this is your win con, wiping the board and killing each other, or killing the person. Stompa's not really a win con. What's another fun win con? Another fun win con. The Batiri battle stack. I do have the super rare Doppelganger. This is the one that has to choose equal or lower level though, yeah. Which is kind of weird. It is a little memeier though. Rare Orion for that last little push. What other win conditions can we put on this team? We could take Resurrection off and put Atlas on. We don't necessarily really need to fix anything here because you're not buying these top 3 things. They all come with 1 die. I like the Batiri because that's a team that I've... Oops, that's how you spell it wrong. That's a team that I've wanted to play anyway. Gives you Swarm if you care. Gives you a secondary win con. What about some White Lanterns? Tiger Claw. I don't know, like, hardly any of the TMNT stuff. That's kind of a cool little thing, too. It's a board wipe. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Take that away. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think we found something. I think we go for it. What do you guys think? This card right here. This is the one. Just pop that in there. We don't need Resurrection. This is the card. I think this is the one. But we need some way to remove Thor, the opposing Thor, but then just bomb him. Just bomb him. That's definitely on that team. If you say no, I don't care because that's a placeholder right there. That one's locked. Oh, is there any way we can play even harder into Orbital Strike? Is there any way to commit even more into Orbital Strike? I don't have any of the Black Lanterns. I have like 1 Black Lantern. We're definitely playing Orbital Strike. Yeah, that is happening. What else can we throw on here? Swap out. Okay, if you don't need energy, there's not a lot of globals on this team. In fact, there's literally 1 global on this team. Yes, it would. Team up buffs do indeed affect orbital strike damage. Because those are amazing. So you have to play it before you would use orbital strike, but yes. Yes, they would. If they roll, then you get that buff on top. Something about this just doesn't quite sit. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I want to play harder into orbital strike. More orbital strike. Come on, guys. How do we do that? We can get rid of Thor using Surtur. Confront the Mighty would still... It would still give the debuffed Surtur that debuff attack when you orbital strike. You need Black Widow to trigger Surtur and to field and buff your field. Yeah. That's a good point. I like that idea. So what do you take off then? Red? This is a new card though. Very shiny. No, I like the idea of popping in specifically this one. That's what you're saying? How poor is that against our own team? If red's on the team, then they just pull red out. Doesn't change it that much. Orbital Strike does not change the team that much. Because these are all still really good. Because Orbital Strike's good in two ways, right? Orbital Strike's good in the sense that if you have a bunch of small things, that damage adds up. And if you have a few big things, that damage just bombs, right? Just bombs them. So if Batiri Battle Stack is taunted out early, then I don't get the swarm triggers, which is sort of a churn mechanic, and that's the only churn mechanic that we have on this team because I took off res for the perennial sticking card on this team, Orbital Strike. And assuming that everyone's going to have a fist or a question mark floating means they're going to get that trigger once. It is a good trigger, though, from Black Widow. I could pop off Confront the Mighty if we kept Black Widow. Or we could drop Doppelganger and Batiri. Or we could just drop Batiri. If we drop just Batiri. Oh! And Black Widow on accident. Oops. But see, even like if you had 4 of her with the Batiri battle stack, you know, like this is still really good together. So Hellfire Club is like a mixed bag because we already know that everyone's going to be bringing 7 drops, and so therefore Hellfire Club half the time, let's just throw a random number out there, half the time is pointless because there's a very good chance, I guess I say half a chance, that you're not going to have the largest attack oops, character, sorry. Rare for Hellfire Club, he says, my bad. My bad. Let's take a look. And we could wish this too. If you play Batiri and then Orbital Strike, would the bad rolled Batiris still buff the good ones? No, you would only... So you would roll everything with Orbital Strike. You would put all of the dice that rolled energy into the prep, I believe. Let's make sure. It just KOs them. Yeah, put them in the prep. And then you would put all of the rolled character faces back into the field, not triggering any when fielded effects. And then you'd skip your attack step. Like, so you do whatever else you wanted during the main step. And so no, you wouldn't get a buff because it's an applied effect or a persistent. I don't know what they called it. I forgot they called it. I call it a persistent effect. That was my thing. I wanted it to be a persistent effect, but the other verbiage was used. Anyway, so it would count after that all happens, and it would look at the field and say, this is how many are in the field. This is how much buff it gets. So that's when you do the damage. Foot ninjas and sidekicks in the field. If you used Shredder. Shredder does not have 2 E's. That would be weird. That's a way to get more stuff in the field. So here's the problem with sidekicks, though. It's like that 1 in 6 chance of rolling the sidekick rather than... Hello. Hi. Hey, it's my wife again, everyone. Oh my God, you're so embarrassing. I'm embarrassing. Yes, she's walking in.
I just need one thing.
She just needs one thing. That's it. That's all she needs.
My present
Just one thing.
lady.
Okay. Bye. See you later.
Have fun.
Okay. There's my wife. Did you guys see her? Isn't she beautiful? She's the best. Most teams will have Surtur and double overcrushing Thanos. That's possible. The problem with double overcrushing Thanos is that you just let him through and Thor takes care of that, you know? So, and then he can be removed by Stompa. I think this is pretty cool. This doesn't jive as well to me as the big stuff here, and I guess this. Maybe it has enough long-term value. Okay, maybe no. I just okay. Here's the thing about Commissioner Gordon, and I could be wrong about this, and I totally admit to that. The thing about Commissioner Gordon is that he is a value over time card. So you need to buy him early, get him in the field, have him out in the field, and then cycle multiple times these big characters. In this format, I'm not quite sure that's even going to happen, unless there's just a ton of Hulkbuster Iron Mans just punching out all your big dudes. If that is the case, then you know he's gonna get that value over time. But if he saves you, 4 energy, net 4 energy, like 1 for the fielding cost here, 2 for the fielding cost here, 2 for the fielding cost here, and 1 for the fielding cost there, 5 energy, woohoo. Then is he 5 energy spread over 3 turns really that worth it for a 4-drop early? And then if you don't buy him early and you buy him later, then do you even see all of that? Do you even see all of that value that you've kind of created? Yeah, I would do team up instead of Hellfire because of the affiliations currently. In this current setup, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so +4 instead of a +2, and it's 1 less. But that's where I'm thinking right now. Maybe that's why that's not sitting really well. Unless I'm really committing hardcore to stompaing everything and fielding Stompa each turn, which I could be. Let's drop Confront the Mighty, and let's leave that, and let's put on Team Up, because Team Up's hilarious. And then let's consider the double affiliated characters. What are some of the double affiliated characters? If we're already doing Stompa, is it worth or interesting to Where Rat? What? Why is it sorting that way? Oh, it's sorting backwards, I guess. What in the world? Well, let's just hit clear all. None. All. That's weird why it's sorting that way. Is it worth considering double affiliated characters? There's so many ways you could take it. So many ways you could take it. So some double affiliated characters that we know of. There's a lot of these. So that rare blob comes to mind. Someone just mentioned Mortarion. That person's awesome. Because of that ability. Just stall board states. Okay, here's another thing about this format. It's easy to get carried away in the idea of just infinite value and infinite rolls with, using the limited wish, right? It's easy to just like go really hard into limited wish, and then we'll get this one, and we'll get this one, and we'll get this one, and we could do that and be super casual and fun about it, or we could push the win rate idea more and just go for like a strong, really strong team and try to win. Because I think in this format you can win quickly by using Limited Wish a couple of times versus like trying to get a ton of insane value or putting together an insane combo. So that's a question. That is a question. Let's do Mortarion. You guys say Mortarion. Okay, what do we cut? If Mortarion, what gets cut? Batiri? Seems like the first thing. So now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 affiliations. That's pretty cool. Common Hulk from Thor. That's in Golden Age. Whoops. That's Guardians. Whoops. Yeah. It's a 6, so you'd have to buy it, or you could wish it. How much value is Doppelganger providing here? A lot with Team Up. I did take out Confront the Mighty because then you can just taunt out something on their turn and board wipe on their turn. And then not have to worry about some stuff. So it's still board wipe, and it deals with Thor because you can taunt out one of their sidekicks. And they can't really taunt out your Surtur. They could taunt out your Thor. Certainly. But then you could taunt out their Thor. If they taunt out your Thor, then you give them 5 damage. So you have the backup, which is cool. I will say the more big drops we add, this being 4, the more value you're going to see from a Commissioner Gordon. Plus, he's giving you that extra affiliation. It would count as 1 affiliation and 1 alignment. Basilisk would, because he is a monster. Basilisk has the monster affiliation and the evil alignment. Unfortunately, not 2 affiliations. My brain right now is thinking about the Doctor Strange again. I don't know why it's back to Doctor Strange. Oh, partly because I thought it didn't have the... I thought it had the Mystic affiliation. And it has this version has the Avengers affiliation. This is worth playing when we bring so many big drops. Because if you get this out first, then every time they use Limited Wish, as someone mentioned earlier in chat, and you like Gordon over Nick Fury, not really. I mean, Nick Fury's cool if everyone's going to bring Surtur. But Nick Fury's a dead card if, people decide to bring like Thor and Hulkbuster Iron Man and some other random thing. But I can see that, I see the benefit. If I knew everyone was bringing a villain, then I would totally run Nick Fury. Because then they have to choose not to bring the villain. Or buy the villain. Is this better than anything else on... Oh yeah, the Book of Ashanti one's cool. The doubling the ability... Or no, the... where is it? Yeah, they're doubling it. The problem with this one is that it's when you use a non-continuous action dice versus... this one, when an action die is used, you may use a copy of its effects. I like this card, and I was gung-ho about this card and saying that it was not bad when that set came out. Let's see if we can find a spot for it. This card's really good, but do we care about it being really good, or would we prefer to run something a little bit more hilarious? It would mean losing an affiliation. Run Danger Room. Is Danger Room any good? Let's think. Is there any way we could make that card? That card's fun, but no. I mean, this makes a lot of sense, what we've got here. Yeah, if we wanted to go ham with Team Up, then we could keep slapping on this stuff. Team Up, Orbital Strike. That's just the combo, right? The problem with that combo, the only problem with that combo I see is it's making you reroll your sidekicks, which are really the value generators when it comes to damage. Because their damage goes from 1 to 6 apiece. And you're getting a lot of sidekicks out by choosing to field them. So the question is, did they work against each other a little too much? You know, Team Up with like low drops makes a ton of sense because you have a lot of low drops out in the field that are non-sidekicks, like doppelgangers and stuff like that. Then you still land the buff and have more chances to land the Orbital Strike. No, what I'm saying is if I subtract this card and then add on Never Have You Known As Like, I'd be taking... Oh, yeah, you're right. It would lose this in no matter what. That's true. So, technically, the Team Up is only ever giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 5, plus 5. Yeah, plus 5, plus 5. Plus 5, plus 5 is a pretty sick buff, though. Pretty sick buff. Maybe just buy up all the Widow's Bites. This seems solid. This seems fun. It seems fun enough and not too serious enough. If I wanted to change anything, it would be to include some low drops just because you want to land a bunch of Orbital Strike stuff. But we're just going to go for some crazy Orbital Strikes. Some crazy Orbital Strike fun. It's pretty fun. Orbital Strike plus Team Up. You just got to roll them on the same turn, but you know, that's not hard or anything. God, Team Up is such a fun card. Such a mean card, but a fun card. Well, cool. Last comments, go in the chat. Tell me, what would you change from this team? We'll go for like 5 more minutes, and then we'll see what you got. I think it's pretty fun and solid as well. I think it's not something that just like makes your jaw drop, but it's something that's kind of hilarious. Orbital Strike. If anything, we cut like, I don't know, the value generator of discounts, or I mean that's the only thing that's screaming it for me. Maybe no, these are too memey and fun. We got to get them in there. Cut this for something small is my only recommendation probably. But we'll leave it in because I think that's a fun suggestion. I would buy 2 dice. Yeah, the Yarnbjorn is an interesting one as well. Oh my gosh, Orbital Strike's so fun. You should have watched like 3 weeks ago. I was playing Orbital Strike as well with like a smaller team, like a bunch of little guys, 2 drops and 3 drops. Super hilarious. with the 3-drop Vero Tigurius, Rod of Tigurius, this one. He gives himself the buff. He gets a buff, +1/+1 for each of your other active Space Marine characters. So I ended up rolling like alongside 2 Vero after using an Orbital Strike. 2 Veros came back up, and like 3 other affiliated characters. And so they were still ridiculously buffed, and it dealt like 24 damage. It was pretty fun. Cool. I think this is a fun team. Yeah, no one else has thrown out anything, so outside of those, some good suggestions. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I like these little team building things. It's cool to hear what you guys have to say about all the teams, and I totally don't. I don't know some of the cards. I know them, but I don't think of them at the drop of the hat like some of you guys do. And it's cool to have a bunch of collaborative minds come together and throw ideas at a wall and see what sticks. I've always enjoyed that. Way back to when we were doing that in the old school, I call it old school, it was like earlier this year, at the beginning of the year, community streams. But I love that stuff. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Crystal's a good one. Yeah. So it's cool that you guys have all these cool suggestions. So thanks for hanging out, like I said. And I think I'll call it now because I'm starting to fall asleep. Starting to get a little tired. Everybody have a good evening. I'll see you later.